Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Kottabos Space Program, where today we are having a look at yet another wonderful mod, this time in the form of the Cloaking Device mod, which is being made by forum user Wasmill, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is, well, a cloaking device. It's sort of right there in the name, so yes, now you can make your vessels disappear without the typical pile of flaming wreckage, and well, that's just lovely. Though I must admit, there is really no proper use in this game for a cloaking device mod. I mean, it's Kottabos Space Program. You really have no enemies or multiplayer or anything like that, so there honestly is no point to cloaking your ships. But for me, this mod falls into that sort of category of it's just weird enough that I like it. It's kind of the reason for many of the mods made by much of the modding community for all games. Why did you make that mod? 'Cause I could, and it seemed interesting. And that's why I like it. So let's just jump right on into the VAB and check out the part that makes this all work. And I'm actually really glad that the mod maker did decide to make it a part. It would have been just so simple to make a UI button that you just click and boom, your ship disappears. But the mod maker decided to actually make it a part, and a part that actually uses resources, so it's somewhat balanced for whatever balance you actually need, once again, for a mod that technically you have no real use for besides it's just cool. So we have in the utility tab this cloaking device model, which isn't the greatest thing in the world in the looks department, but according to the post I was reading for this, apparently this, I guess, is the first model by the mod maker, so kudos to you. It's better than I could make. It kind of looks like a weird little slug, so hopefully this will improve over time, but for now we've got this weird little thing, and once attached to the ship, it will use electric charge to cloak your vessel. And it actually has the handy dandy little equation here, so you can try and figure out roughly how much electric charge the cloaking device will need for your ship, and it's based off of surface area. So the larger the ship with the larger surface area, the more electricity it will use. And, well, it's pretty awesome. Now in here you can actually mess around with some of the things, so you can change the max fade, which is the actual amount that the cloaking device will cloak the ship. So at a setting of 1, it basically won't cloak at all. There's no opacity change. And at 0, it would be basically fully cloaked, making it invisible, but not quite fully invisible. Again, a thing that I like about this mod, it doesn't just make the ship completely disappear, there is kind of a shimmer effect to things, which we'll show once we are outside. Now the other option we have that we can mess around with in here is self-cloak, and that you can turn on and off, and that basically makes it so that this part won't cloak. So if you have self-cloak turned off, this little slug-looking thing will remain completely visible while the rest of the ship is cloaked, and if you have it on, it will cloak as well. But yeah, that's basically it. That's what you need to make this mod work. So what I've done is put a test ship into space to show you how the cloaking works, what it looks like, and also how the size of the ship affects the actual energy usage. So I've got it with a couple of different stages, so as we release stages, it should use less and less power. So let's go to my cloaked ship up here in orbit, and you'll notice it's just a giant hulk of a mess, and this is what we're going to be playing with. And if we pin our resources here, right now we're gaining quite a nice amount of electricity from all of our solar panels, but if I hit 1, which is what I have bound to toggle the cloaking device over here so that I can, more easily do this, if I do that, boom, the ship starts to fade. Again, a very nice touch. It doesn't just instantly go invisible, it actually has a fade to it. And if you notice here on the electricity, we are running anywhere between 150 and 160, it looks like, on the electric charge front. It isn't a solid number, it seems to fluctuate quite a bit, but yeah, it does appear to be between roughly 150 and 160 electric charge to actually keep this ship cloaked. And you'll notice we still can kind of see some of the things. We actually still have some parts slightly visible, and that's because of the reflection from the sun. If we go to this side, where the sun is on the opposite side of the ship, you can see nothing. But on the sun side, I do like the fact that you can still kind of see a vague glimpse of the ship. It makes it seem a bit more realistic of a cloaking device. Not that we have realistic cloaking devices in the real world, but yes, nonetheless, I do like it. Now let's turn this baby off, because we are... oh god, we've run through half of our power already. And then let's lose this main stage. Alright, let's actually turn on our engine a little bit so we move away. And just sort of get away from those. Bye, fellas. Don't need you anymore. Excellent. There we go. And now that we're a lot smaller, we were using before 150 to 160 electrical charge. Now, if I hit 1, we are using only... oh god, kind of hard to read that. Looks like between 30 and 40-ish, roughly. So, not nearly as much, because of course we lost a lot of surface area earlier, because, well, we released all of those giant fuel tanks, which had a whole crap load of surface area to them. So we're using a lot less power now, so we could keep that cloak going pretty darn nicely over time, which is quite good. Now let's uncloak ourselves again, and release the last segment, so we're just a capsule with batteries attached and some solar panels, and once again hit 1. Excellent. And now we're only using, looks like between 15 and 20, roughly. Again, it's fluctuating so much, you can't really nail down an exact, but we're using a heck of a lot less power, once more because we've reduced our overall surface area, which is quite cool. I do like that. Now, let's take a look at a few other things here. While in flight, oh god, there it is, we can still adjust that fade we were using in the VAB, so we can still adjust this, so we only can make it cloak about halfway, roughly, and if we go to 1, you can see we're just more opaque, or rather, more see-through. We're not truly invisible. And it also uses, subsequently, less power when you do so. Now, if we go to 1 and cloak, you'll notice it does nothing because, well, we're just at 1. We're not changing our opacity at any form whatsoever. Turn the cloak back off. And now you can also see we can still turn on and off that self-cloak, which, let's actually turn off our SAS here and turn ourselves into the sun so we're a bit more visible, so you can see that. So if we turn self-cloak off, and then fade down, there we go. The cloaking device is still perfectly visible, while the rest of the ship has gone away, essentially. And then we can, well, turn the thing back on, turn the self-cloak back off, and then you also notice we have a cloaking button here as well that you can use to turn on and off the cloak, but of course it's just a lot simpler to bind it to a key. Like I've got it on 1, because of course when you do go completely invisible, it may be difficult to find the part. I mean, I know it's right here because I was just staring right at it, but if you've cloaked your ship and you're moving around someplace and you're all of a sudden thinking, oh god, where'd that damn thing go, then it could be hard to find. But yes, this is the Cloaking Device mod. It's pretty cool. I've been enjoying it so far. Again, it's completely useless from an actual gameplay perspective. Maybe you could get some use out of it with machinimas. I mean, that might be quite cool. You could make cloaking ships in that. And if you enjoy creating BD armory stuff, you could make yourself some cloaking tanks or something like that. That could be fun. But overall, I mean, there's really not much of a use practically for this mod. It's just one of those strange, fun mods that are weird and just there to give you something to do that's just off the beaten path, basically. And that's why I enjoy this mod. It's pointless overall, but for me, It makes me happy. And if you would like to try out this mod for yourself, you can take a look at the link in the description, and I do hope you take a look at it. It is quite entertaining, and if you build any interesting stealth ships, I'd love to see them, though of course maybe give me a picture at like half cloaking, because if you make it at all the way to 0 cloaking, then of course I'm not going to see whatever you created. But yes, that is going to be it for today's episode, my friends. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next. But until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.